Well, howdy do, buckaroos. This is Joe Leydon with Cowboys and Indians magazine, and I'm here to talk with the bluegrass queen herself, Rhonda Vincent, who is more than making up for time lost during lockdown with a new album and a new slew of concert dates. Rhonda, how does it feel to be out of harness and get back on the road making music?
I am excited to be start gearing up. It looks like we're going to have a full schedule starting in July, going to the Missouri State Fair and the Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry, and all places, Bluegrass Island, where you can just sit in your Speedo or bikini and watch bluegrass music. So it's like freedom rings finally.
Well, I think I'm going to spare the other members of the audience the sight of me in a bikini, Rhonda, but now, when we chatted last year, we talked about how people would be writing music, recording music during the lockdown, and we both agreed that we hoped some joyful and celebratory music would come out of it. And though we were worried that some people would be singing a lot of blues when it was all over with. You seem to have chosen the happy side. Tell me a little bit about the mix of different styles and, well, new material and classic material on Music Is What I See.
There's something for everyone. There's a thread, a really long thread through the Grand Ole Opry from the very first song that was written by Porter Wagoner in 1972. What Ain't to Be Just Might Happen, I thought was very perfect for the times. And then there's the new songs that was written by Grand Ole Opry star, my Opry sister, Jeannie Seeley, called Like I Could. She wrote that with Aaron Enderlin and Bobby Tomberlin. There's also the Webb Pierce song called Slowly. So that's the Opry side of things. Brand new songs from Jerry Salley. There is the perfect quarantine song. I did not want this album to be overshadowed by the pandemic or in any way. Like you say, I wanted it to be joyful and I wanted it to be happy. So we have the parody to I've Been Everywhere. It says, I ain't been nowhere, that Chuck Me took. And he put those words, the lyrics to that melody. And I said, I heard it and it's like, it cracked me up. And I said, we have to do a bluegrass version to that song. And it was, there's a couple of very challenging songs on the project. That was one of them. It has 392 words. And I started singing it. I was reading that, writing it out or using my phone to read it or teleprompter. And I finally said, I started doing it. I was singing it on stage. I knew the first section, the second and the third. And it's like, wow, I might actually be able to memorize this. And so recently I sang I Ain't Been Nowhere. I had memorized it and sang all 392 words on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. So I can now sing that song. The other challenge was, I think it might be the very first bluegrass recorded version of Unchained Melody, a classic song. I sang it took 12 hours to get this song to what I wanted it to be for this project. So it kind of terrifies me to sing it live. I've only done it a couple of times. I've not memorized it yet, but very close. It's not so much the lyrics on that song, but singing is breathing. And it has a lot of twists and turns and a lot of different breathing patterns for it. There's the holding the long notes and holding just the very slow passages. So my next goal is to be able to sing Unchained Melody on the Grand Ole Opry. So that's my new goal for myself. But I love that there's new songs, there's gospel songs. There's only a couple of guests. This project is a showcase of my incredible band, The Rage. We won a Grammy in 2017 for Best Bluegrass Album. And it is my prayer that this one will maybe receive the same a Grammy.
What is the significance of the title of the album, Music Is What I See?
Well, that's the title song. I love the lyrics of the song. It was written by Mike Deacle, and it's so visual. And it has the message that I wanted to give. I had planned to sing this on the night I was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. It didn't, because album was 2 years in the making because of the quarantine and the pandemic. The CD wasn't ready, and we weren't ready to perform it. But this song is so visual. It says God is good, and God is great, and God is good to me. And that's the message that I want to send. It also has a lot of song titles throughout, but it's so visual and you can see it. And I talked to so many people. This is their song, their favorite song on the album. It just has a beautiful, beautiful melody to it. The words, it just, I guess, warms your heart. So it's very significant in the message, I think, that it brings.
Tell us a little bit about what it felt like the first night you got to perform in concert again after the lockdown. I mean, what was it? Where was it? And what did it feel like?
Our very first concert, it was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And you would think it would be like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. But I think we were still in a very cautious state, and the audience was limited, and it was not as comfortable as you would want it to be. It was very strained. And I think people were worried, and they had masks on. Everybody was uncomfortable with the mask. It's like, I don't want to wear it. There was almost like a pull and a tug because of so many different emotions I think everyone was feeling. It's actually been, I think, when we got to 2021 and things started to open up gradually, there is a freedom now. People are like, wow, there's no mass at the Grand Ole Opry. There's no mass in Branson at Silver Dollar City. Those are, I think, the two most significant places that we played right off. And so there is now an excitement, and just in the band and getting together and getting to a chance to visit with people face to face there, and to hug people and go, oh, I'm so glad to hug you. I'm so glad to see you. So the excitement comes now. And with so many different things, from the new album to touring, to the different places that we're going to be. So, but at first it was a very cautious and I think a very uncomfortable place, but it's not anymore.
Now, I'm certainly not the first person to note this. Historians and cultural observers have been writing and talking a lot about this. But, you look back, what we refer to as the Roaring 20s came at the end of the 1918, flu epidemic in this country. And people suddenly didn't have to worry about the flu anymore. And they wanted to go out night clubbing. They wanted to go to concerts. They wanted to, have a lot of excitement and enjoy the nightlife. Do you think that the next few years we're going to be seeing a lot of pent up hearty partying going on, and maybe you'll be doing even more concert appearances than you have in the past?
I really feel that way. Our 2022 is already ramped up very early. I mean, we just booked October of 2022. We were just invited to appear in Switzerland at one of the most prestigious country music festivals, Stade. And so you can already see things ramping up and just with the bookings. And that's a really great thing for us, and something we're very excited to see, because that's our livelihood. And instead of sitting here and, like, oh no, another date's canceled, we're like, 2022 is going to be full. We're headed to 2023. I love that.
Well, now the name of the new album is Music Is What I See. And fans can keep up with your concert dates on RhondaVincent.com.
That's right.
Where are you off to next?
Well, I'm headed from coast to coast. We're literally going to be in North Carolina and in Kentucky. People think that I live in Kentucky because I'm Bluegrass, but I actually live in Missouri. Probably our most performing states. This is the other thing. You can see the states that are opened up and the ones that aren't. We're probably playing Missouri more than anything. The Missouri State Fair on August 19th. Conway, Missouri. We were just at Silver Dollar City. We'll be going back to Branson a couple of times. Oh, and we're doing Christmas in Branson at the Mansion Theater. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're playing in Tennessee a lot. we're going to be at it's called the American Mule and Bluegrass Festival, and it's a brand new festival in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Bluegrass Nights at the Ryman, Springer Mountain Farms Bluegrass Nights at the Ryman on July the 8th. So we're going everywhere, and it's basically give us a call. We'd be happy to come to your city. In fact, we're in Branson for 6 days for Christmas in Branson, and we're looking to where we can also take that to another city and maybe for 6 days or so.
Well, y'all hear that out there, concert?
Yeah.
This lady is raring to go. So.
That's right.
Well, thank you very much, Rhonda. Always good talking with you, and continued good luck, and stay safe and be well.
Thank you. You too.